Hey everyone, it's Artifacts and Big Racks, and I'll give you a shot here of what we're going to walk. You're probably thinking, what's going to find in this mess? Well, I'll tell you, I hunt this place, been hunting it now for a while, and I'm going to show you a lot of stuff. This place is an Indian workshop, Flint workshop, and I'm going to show you some awesome stuff. So I haven't even, actually, if you can see, there, there's the edge. I'd like to address something. There's been a big buzz on the internet about faking of artifact hunts. Well, I tell you what, I have no respect for somebody that's going to fake this at all. Here's the thing, I know this is a hobby, but that's not how Artifacts and Big Racks looks at this. This is archaeology. I know that, well, you're just surface hunting. Well, guess what? I'm finding all kinds of stuff. And it all matters. I like local history, so since I live in central Ohio, I mean, in my neighborhood, I've been working on theories about my own neighborhood, hunts that I put together, places I go within walking distance of my front door. And I'm here to tell you that sometime in the future, I'm going to come forward with all that information, and I'll write something, or I'll put together a video and discuss it. Everything I do also is one-shot takes. Yeah, you might hear me stutter around because I'm trying to formulate words. This is real. Am I finding a Thebe every time I'm coming out? Well, heck no, because that's not how it works. Now look at this. There's a piece. There's a piece. There's a piece. It's all over in here. It's all over. Can you imagine when this thing's deep plowed and rained upon well, what this place is like? Oh, I tell you what, shafted scrapers out the yin-yang, drill bits, end scrapers, big preforms, I mean, in abundance. I was let down. To be quite frank, this is one of the cooler places that I go. Unfortunately, it's a lot of Nelly Gray. I'd say, in the big scope of things, this site here, 75% Nelly Gray. You know, everybody likes Flint Ridge and beautiful up in Mercer, but, well, this place it wasn't. But this is I'm suspecting going back as far as the transitional paleo to early archaic peoples were here on this site, because that tends to be what kind of tooling and stuff I've been finding, and points. Not as many points as I wished for in here, but lots of tools. So that's telling me this is a place of work. The manufacturing of all different kinds of wood objects, hide and clothing preparation, maybe some agricultural activity, or at least the making of the tools for it. Might be a, it might be a perforator. Kind of dirty, but that's what it's looking like. Live find. Live find. And real. No BS. Like I said, you know, that one fella that's talking about this stuff and really throwing it out there on Front Street. Hey man, thanks for doing that, because you're right. I mean, it puts this false sense of every time I go out I find a Clovis. Well, that's a load of bull. There's something. Look at that. Another one, live find. But oh yeah, oh look at that, big thief, all this. No, it don't happen that way. Now, are you gonna have special days like that? Yeah. But consistently, and then you can see the points. They're just, my gosh. I mean, I've had my hands on this stuff for over 30 years. You know, to see that stuff, it's so BS. Hey man, look at that, yeah. I told you this place is a smoker of a spot. I was so disappointed when they didn't plow this. They just, you know, they just chipped it and they threw these beans in here. The year before it was deep plowed, and from here and two conjoining properties, you wouldn't believe it. You wouldn't believe it. How much stuff I found last year. You wouldn't believe it hardly. But it doesn't all look beautiful, you know. Not everything is a Clovis or an Enoch Thebe or stuff like that. Indians used flint in a variety of manners. Look at this thing. There's flute channels on that. Do you see them? That's going in the pocket. That's kind of cool. I think it's a core, but on the end here, there's work. See that? That's pretty cool. Yeah, this place is a slammer. I'm gonna say it again. Can you imagine if it was deep plowed? Last year I'd come into here, I would get so Flint drunk. I just sweating and in a fury. Unbelievable. I'm glad, you know, I went to another spot and they had put in wheat, so I couldn't hunt it. It's too close together, and nope. Just broken piece of flint, big flake. Nothing. Good looking piece of Upper Mercer blue black stuff. That would make it for a good point, man. Whoa. You see that? But I got something in here. I gotta flip this too. Told you, Nellie Gray. I know this site because I've walked this. Wow. It's broken, but look at that. Darn it. I have found these large drill types. This would be extended out, but I don't know. It's busted up. That's all I can tell you. It's going in my pocket. Something like that. That's making its way back to the house, but probably into the flower garden. My buddies that come over, they walk by that, and I told them for years to take stuff out of there. They didn't take me serious. Well, now they get over there and they pluck stuff out now and again. I don't mind. What am I going to do with all this stuff? I mean, I do this a lot, and I've done it as many years as I say I have. Right there's a celt. Yes. Oh gosh, yes. This might be one. I might put together one of my best videos in this BS bean stubble. Cause see, I drove down the road, and from the other side I could see up into here, and I saw that it was spotty, and I thought, well, there's opportunity there. Now any other field I might just give up on that, because it'd be crappy. But not here. I knew that if there was any open area, with as much rain we've been getting, oh yes. Well, the thing of it is also, here's the thing, you know, these guys that find stuff going these fields, but never picking up flint. Okay, well, see, my videos and the other really good ones, you see things are found within context. Okay, now put this into perspective. Are you going to go into a field and knock down 10 awesome points out of a field that look like they just been made yesterday, but yet there's not a piece of flint in the whole field? That ain't how this place works. Sure isn't. So, just going from my own experience, right there's shaft scraper, look at that. I told you. Now these, they really are a fairly rare item, but, yep, it's exactly what that is. But I got no respect for that. I hate to keep going on and on about it. I'm having a great time, and I shouldn't complain about some wannabe poser. I better watch going forward with my words, as I'm about to start raving into a cussing fit. But my videos, you'll understand because of the context that I'm putting this together real deal. No BS, no phony baloney. And this is what it looks like. That's a fire pop. That's pretty cool. A lot of this flint's been heat tempered. Hey, that's some kind of a crude knife. It's kind of cool. Into the pocket. And if you've ever heard me talk about my videos, and you know, I've said in the past, put together a hunt and by day's end walking out with 20 pounds of rock in your pocket, excuse me, it's probably an understatement. Because this ain't the only place I know it's like this. And I'm a pretty well-known deer hunter, and I have a lot of access to properties and land. In probably close to 8 different counties here in Ohio. Stick with me here. I've already did real good. Already have done real well. There's some kind of bug going around here, and I had like strep throat or something. I was laid up for a few days. Wasn't as active as I normally am, because hard enough to put in a whole day and then come home and then try to do all this kind of stuff too. And I'm not a spring chicken no more. And that goes right back. Look, that's a really nice core. That's what that is. I threw that down without even thinking. That's a pretty nice piece of black right there. See what I'm saying? Flint Workshop, you know, to find a core like that, not unusual at all. I'm gonna put this out towards the edge here. Pick that up on the way back through. Oh, I tell you what. Gosh darn it, focusing this. Look at the edge work. That's snapped very well. Very nice edge work into the pocket. See, look at that. Y'all, I guess I planted that one over there. Okay, so back to the chestnut. When guys put out their BS it makes a guy like me, it diminishes everything I do. Everything. And I've got myself in this situation, and I'm not going to bring it up because I don't want to alienate anybody. But I understand that flint napping's cool, but not every flint napper is a good human being. Some of them are selling fakes as real. I'll just say this much, you know, as I'm sitting here picking up all this flint, you know, I'm a guy that has a lot of flint. A lot of flint. It's dubious. That's the word. Dubious situation. Do I sit on it and sleep good at night, or do I continue to share that with others and then they turn around and maybe possibly rip someone off with it? To say I'm conflicted is maybe a mild understatement. I've even spoken about it with my wife. Look at that, there's another cutter. Look at the edge on that, that's nice. Nice tool. I got so much of this stuff you wouldn't believe it. I mean, an embarrassment of riches when it comes to that. This field here, you ain't gonna believe this, but the farmer, there's so much out here in this lane that the farmer, well, they come into here, these oil wells, they rut it up. So he comes out in this field and he rocks this field. He throws these rocks over into the ditch to fill the ditch. I've picked up more artifacts out of that ditch than most people maybe find their whole life, and I'm not playing. That sounds like a tall tale, but that's the truth. We're gonna just go ahead and start talking about truths. Oh, man, this is a good looking rock. Hope it's something. I don't think so. I found a lot of hammerstones out of here too. Good ones, fasted. Look at all this flint. Like I said, Nelly Gray, Nelly Gray. Preform. It's a preform. It's exactly what that is. I'll keep it. I found a lot of fossils in here as well. Seems to be a lot of fossils associated with this Nelly Gray. I'm not a geologist, but I have studied enough of it to speak about it. But definitely, as far as what I've experienced, look at this little knife. Check that out. That's all napped in really nice right there. That's a cool piece too. But back to the fossils, it just seems like there's a lot more fossilization in the Nelly Gray than any of this other forms of Shocked and Flint. I mean, you'll find it in all of it. But man, this Nelly Gray, I mean, monster fossils. I mean, big ones. There's some good stuff right there. See that? I told you, these little kinds of tools, man. Spoke shave. I wouldn't call that a shafted scraper, but definitely some kind of a spoke shave type-esque tool. Well, for you, I guess you all have been watching. You impressed with the amount of flint yet? Some deer poo. My county is #1 in the state in deer harvested every year. #1. I worked for the phone company for many a year. I was a level 3 network system specialist, And when I moved from New England, I was born and raised in Ohio, but after a project was completed with the 3G system, I moved back to Ohio because I could. And I didn't just move to this area by chance. Me and my wife understood what we wanted to do. We had children, and we wanted to try to do the best we could. And I'd say, well, we did all right. My oldest son played college baseball and now works for the state in the construction field for ODOT. My youngest son entered the U.S. Army at the age of 17 as an early bird and put 5 years in and went overseas and all that business. And he just purchased his first home, so we did pretty good despite my own inequities. Back a long time ago, I used to, I'd have to say I was kind of wild. That would be probably an understatement. But we did well. We did extremely well. In the process, you know, doing all that. Look at this broken unit. Man. Well, it's not worked over here, but the whole. Cool. That's pretty cool. That's going into the pocket. That's a nice garden piece right there. Shorts are starting to sag down, fall off of me. So much Flint. Oh, this is so cool. You know, realize this is mid-August. In Ohio, usually everybody's pretty much shut down if you're a head hunter. Now, if you're a river hunter, you're gonna have constant opportunity. But I've got Coshocton, and that means I have a vast amount of opportunity as well. But you know, boy, them fellers that hunt that Ohio River, that's hard to argue with that. And there's some of them guys that just constantly well, there's a workhorse out there. This feller just hits her hard. And, you know, he knows who he is. He's a hard worker. And that's what it takes to find stuff. I could have just easily turned around, went home, and gave up. I thought, well, I'm going to cruise on down here, take a look at a few of these other places and see what's going on. And turn to what would have been just that was a killer knife. It broken. See if that's a rework. It is a rework. Yes, see that? That's a rework. That's a nice piece. That's a good piece. That was a big, I was gonna say a cuss word, but I caught myself. That was a big one, and they reworked that. Yeah. All right. I'll take that. That's a good one. I'll clean that one up, and that'll go into a frame. And probably that axe or hatchet or whatever the hell. Oh, there it went. See? Well, we're just gonna have to live with that one today. If you're around me 24/7, that wouldn't be the worst of it. Look, square knife. Well, maybe that's a preform. I think that's what that is. You know, I pick things up, and I shouldn't run my jaws until I get a better look, but I get excited like any other guy. Is that another one of them? It's an artifact. It's got a real stack. It's got a big stack on it right there, but that doesn't mean that wasn't a chopper, some kind of like a celt. Yeah, I'm sorry everybody. I shouldn't have done that. And normally I'd erase this video, but man, so many killer live finds. We're just gonna have to live with it. You'll have to excuse me. Trust me, it could come out a lot worse. Trust me. Oh man.